constantly. And it's no surprise to me that when I asked Shannon McMichael from the Newport Chamber of Commerce if she could give me a list of names of area businesses, we wanted to put together a welcome bag for all of the new teachers. Well, the Chamber went one step beyond, and Kathleen Campbell from the Insurance Center contacted Sugar River Bank, who donated beautiful bags for gift bags for new teachers, and then area businesses donated little items as a Sunshine Town welcome. So I wanted to thank the businesses, MJ and Harrington, the Historical Society, the Insurance Center, Sugar River Bank, New Lending Copy, Dawn Grant Photography, Dave Kulos with All Terrain, Noise R Us, and the Jake Maxfield Community Connection. We gave out 19 gift bags to new teachers on Tuesday, and it was just a really nice way to welcome them to the community and show them that Newport is the kind of town that pulls together, and we're really excited to have them here. So, thank you.
Okay, I don't see anyone online, so that will bring public comment to a close. Let's go to approval of public minutes. We'll start with July 21st. Is there a motion? I will move the minutes of July 21st.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? None. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Thank you. That was unanimous. You were here, I believe.
Was I here?
Oh, no, you were not,
No.
so you would abstain.
Yeah.
So, okay, one abstention. August 11th, public minutes. I will move the meeting minutes of August 11th. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Two changes.
Okay,
One, the page numbers on all pages. And page 2 of 7 to 8. Three-quarters of the way down below Chairman Darling, it lists Mr. Spalding Sr. Are we there?
I'm there.
You go down and you see the space where they've got some artwork in there, and below that Chairman Darling,
Yes,
and then below that Mr. Spalding.
yes.
Okay. Mr. Spalding stated for clarification that the school has a tent. No, Mr. Spalding asked if the school had tents.
Okay. If the rest of the board's okay with those changes, we can withdraw our motions and make it a new one as with those changes. Okay,
So the rest.
all right. Do you want to withdraw your second then? We'll change the motion.
Well, as amended.
Okay,
So
all right.
you accept the as amended.
All right, all those in favor to accept it as amended?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? All right, thank you very much. And then the August 15th minutes, which were from when the board, a quorum of the school board met with at the selectmen's meeting. So I will move those minutes of August 15th. Is there a second? Okay, any discussion?
I didn't get a copy of those, but that's okay.
Okay.
Send you an email, sir.
All right, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
I'll abstain.
Abstain. Okay. Thank you.
Abstained.
You're going to abstain as well? Okay, so that'll be
I wasn't there.
2-0 to 2.
So we got 2 abstentions, and that's not enough for you to...
So we'll just bring it to the next
So we'll bring
meeting?
it to the next meeting, yep. No. Okay, so now we have non-public meeting minutes of July 14th. I'll move the minutes of, non-public minutes of July 14th. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
On page 2, roll call vote into non-public session. We should circle them, I believe.
I agree with you. I will make that change to this form.
So I would assume that we're ovaling 5 of them.
Yep. 4.
Um,
To enter into non-public was 4 of us.
Oh, okay, I see 5, because there's an empty space down bottom.
Oh, I see. Well, that's even more of a reason to circle and not make it bold then.
Yep.
Okay. All right, all those in favor to accept those non-public minutes?
Um, Same thing on
Yes.
page 3.
On page 3. That will be a form change on my end.
Move as amended.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstained?
Same.
Tim will abstain. Thank you very much. Non-public minutes of August 11th. I will move those minutes.
Second.
Okay. Will be the same changes for those with circling, I assume. Is there any other discussion, however?
Oh, it makes a lot more sense now.
Good.
I was like, am I supposed to fill this out?
No.
You didn't do your homework?
I know, I'm like, oh no.
Now, that would be 2 places.
Yes,
Page
on
2.
page 2 and 3. And really on 4 if we ever need to seal minutes, but we usually try not to do that.
Right, we didn't, so it wasn't.
Yep. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Okay. Thank you very much. That brings us to information and action. Student handbook, the high school.
Thank you. So you were sent a copy of the high school's student handbook along with a 2-page document that had the changes that were in it. And I also have Shannon and Sarah here with us tonight. If you have any questions about any of the changes or anything in the handbook, they would be happy to address, assist you and assist each other in answering the question.
All right. I appreciated having that checklist this year. That's great. Are there any questions or concerns from the other board members?
I had a question that it's satisfactorily answered, but I will say that we take this and have the students read it, if so, they get their diploma.
Well, they'll have to do more than just read. They do, on a serious note, the first 2 weeks they have school, they are in their advisory every day, and it's part of that is to go over sections in this handbook.
And
to
then
know
they get
what's
the
available
diploma.
to them.
Tim,
There are no questions.
Yeah, the
Tim,
address,
did you have an adjustment?
yeah, the address is wrong, which you can just take the address off and just Newport School. And then it just says MH instead of NH.
See that? I just had a question. I didn't have time to go back and look yet at last year's. Was this the same as last year, the schedule, the way that it looks? I just found it challenging to read, and I didn't know if it was challenging for parents or kids. I don't know. Just the schedule.
We struggled with there was a formatting on the left-hand side of the line that was supposed to go down.
Yeah.
But we're basically returning to a pre-COVID modified block.
Okay,
And so the challenging part is on that bell schedule, you see the 2 lunches.
right.
When a student has their schedule, it'll actually tell them which lunch they have. So it'll say
Okay.
L1 or L2. They'll still have a blank in there, so it'll say L1, then there'll be a blank space, then their classes. But we spend orientation days to go over that with all the students. And we have our parent night on Tuesday, the 30th at 6 to answer questions. We have a sample we put up with the parents.
Perfect. Okay, I'm satisfied with that.
And it's tricky because they can either have a full block or that block can be split into 2.
Right, that's what threw me for a
periods,
loop.
so
Yep.
We have to try and show both because at different times of the day. Some kid could be in a block or another kid could be in a half block period.
Okay, all right, that's helpful. Any other questions or concerns from the board? All right. Hearing none, this is an act, oh, Donna, I'm sorry.
Tim, can I just, did you want the address changed to the school, the school address, or do you want to keep the address that's in there? Just make it New Hampshire. What is your preference?
The address is just wrong. I don't live on Green Street.
Oh, okay. So the address is completely wrong. We're just going to send everybody to a different house, so maybe you
That's
should keep
perfect.
that.
My ex-wife lives on Green Street, maybe that's her address. That's perfect.
All right, so we'll just change it to Newport, and then we're going to change Bert's email address to the correct one.
Sounds good.
I'm sorry? Yes, I will get that to you. Yep.
Okay, so we need to take an action on this, so I need a motion to approve the Parent-Student Handbook of 2022-2023. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, abstained, unanimous. Thank you
Just so
very
that
much.
way you know, there is going to, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
There's going to be a, 2 more coming. You have a middle school one, and then you have an elementary one coming. So
Okay.
I will get those to you.
Okay, Snack Shack renovations.
Well, where do I start with that? So when we first met as a board, we were under the impression that there was going to be a committee that worked together that was going to pay for everything except for the concrete slab. We then had the concrete slab donated to us. We tore everything down, had the concrete slab donated to us. As soon as we wanted to build, 2 weeks went by, and I said, okay, what's going on? Why isn't it going up yet? Was told, well, we needed to wait because they were going to do a prefab and put it together, and it wasn't going to be until the spring. So we said, well, we need it before the spring, and so we have some very talented buildings and grounds people, and they said, okay, we'll get the wood and we'll build it ourselves. So after later discussion, we found out that there was a donation. The Valleys was generous and donated $1,500 to us, but there was no other donation. And so, as I'm sure everybody is aware, that is costly to build something like that. It would be a lot more than that. And so we had to do some moving around, a little bit of stuff, to make it work. And so later on, you'll see that I'm asking for a budget change for a little bit, for $3,000. But we also had a grant for $7,500. Well, the grant was more than that. We had left in the grant. $7,500 was a lovely grant that we had. That is for football field and maintenance. So using that money, as well as the $1,500 that was donated to us, and then the money, the $3,000 that I'm going to ask for a transfer, we feel that we can build the shack with that. Right now, as you saw, that they've done a great job. They have like the shell basically done. They've spent about $7,000 so far getting all of that work done. And they plan on tomorrow putting up the stairs, putting in some of the walls on the inside. The roofing is coming in, the metal roofing is coming in next Tuesday, so they hope to move forward with that. The goal is to have it completely done by the first game, so we'll be able to use it. And so they've been working all day into the night to get it done, and they've been doing a great job. And so that's been good. Thanks to Bert for coming and helping out with some of the other pieces, because there was, at one time, we thought that the slab was not built right, so we had to get everybody together to have a discussion about how the slab was built, and that's, I don't do the construction talk, so it was really good to get the person that was going to be building it, and Todd came, and they talked, Todd Frazel, yeah, came and talked about the construction and making sure it was up to code. And the inspector has been there, and everything is going up solid. So thanks to that whole team, we were able to say, okay, Monday we can start on it with some of the funds that we currently have. And then tonight, later on, I'll be asking you for $3,000 to move.
Okay. All right. Any other questions from the board? Thank you. It's nice to see that it might be back in time for the first game. I think at our last meeting, that wasn't the case. So it's
Right,
wonderful.
right, yeah, so we're pretty excited about that.
Great. Okay, hiring.
So we're still in the process of doing a lot of hiring. Later on, you'll see that we were able to hire a building principal for the middle school, so that was great. He actually started today, so we kind of threw him into the fire, but he's doing really well. He comes with some experience, so that's pretty exciting. What we did is yesterday sent home an email to middle school parents, because that's where we were really hit hard, right? It was no science teacher, no math teacher, no consumer science teacher, no computer science teacher, no PE teacher. And so we needed to find a way to make sure that we could open safely and all of our students were educated. These two wonderful women, with the help of a few other people, were able to, what they call, blow up the middle school schedule to do something that is going to be very beneficial to our students. It is not something that is a ongoing process that we can continue to do, because of the fact that we're not in line with the state as far as PE, computer science, those types of programs, but we do have the approval from them to move forward because it's an emergency situation. So what we have done now is the 6th grade and the 7th grade teaching staff is completely full. So we've taken the 6th grade and the 7th grade math teachers, and they will be teaching 8th grade math. The 6th grade and 7th grade science teachers will be teaching an 8th grade science. So the 8th grade students will be getting taught their core by the certified teachers in that area. The second piece that we did is we looked at the specials, and so the 7th and 8th grade social studies teachers and the language arts teachers will be taking on the specials type of thing. So we're able to, instead of just putting subs in that do not have the education in those areas, we actually have the certified teachers that are going to be educating our students in that area. And like I said to you, this is a temporary basis. We can't keep this moving forward because we need to make sure that we are complying with what the state is asking us to. It's a temporary fix for right now. We are going to continue looking throughout the year to see if we can get somebody. Sometimes people, they graduate in January or maybe earlier, so that way we can scoop people up mid-year. One of the things that we did talk about is that we all have the best things in mind when it comes to our students, and that we are not just going to take anybody. So if somebody applies and they don't fit with the team, or we don't think they'll fit in Newport, or we don't think that they'll fit with the students, then we would not hire them. Because the goal, as Mr. O said last year, is 0 teachers leaving next year. So we want to make sure that we're doing what's best for the kids.
Any questions or concerns from the board? Bert?
What media do you advertise in?
We've been actually advertising in a lot of different medias. We've done in a paper. We've sent things out. We have School Spring. We do Ed Job. We do, I don't know if it's...
Facebook page, what?
Facebook, all our social media stuff, we do it all that way. So we've done a lot of that. Something was sent to us, I think Kerry shared something with us that was almost like to send a blast out to parents that we really need your support, and so for para positions, because that's where we seem to be down a lot as well. So looking for that, or maybe we have somebody that's a retired teacher, something that wants to take on a responsibility for just this school year. So we're looking at all different ways to get people in.
Are you still sending emails to like UVEI, Upper Valley Educators Institute? I thought we had talked about that at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do, we actually have a couple of people
Yeah.
that are here maybe a little before their program's technically done, but they're just in the student teaching kind of side of things, so they're on the
Okay.
other end of it. But
Yeah. Okay.
they're a wonderful program, so everybody's running short.
Mm-hmm.
It's very exciting to see how the 7th and 8th grade teachers have really taken this on. So it's nice to see them all bond together and say, we got to do what's best for our kids, and so they've been very good at that.
I really, I appreciate all of that. I'm make sure we check in with those guys.
Absolutely.
Continually, and making sure they
Absolutely.
get should go for all teachers, but especially, those that are taking on such an enormous responsibility to get our middle school open safely and done well. So
Yes.
I'd like to make sure that continues to happen.
Donna, you didn't mention the Valley News. Or you did?
Well, I'm not sure exactly the Valley News, but I've been interviewed about 4 times this past week, and so I have been talking to them about the support staff as well as educators that we do need, and I'm meeting with somebody tomorrow as well.
In my feeling, when you get to an emergency situation, you just do everything you possibly can. And you might find somebody that reads the Valley News that's recently out of education, who might make a decision to go back in
Mhm.
because of Biden's cost increases here.
Okay.
I had to get that taken.
Perfect.
And welcome to David Bailey as well. He's our new middle school principal, right?
Yes.
So welcome and thank you. Look forward to meeting with you. Okay. Our Goshen contract.
The Goshen contract was signed.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So they had it at their school board meeting and they signed it, so.
Perfect. Okay. All right. The MOU between the school district and the town of Newport about our SRO.
Yes, so what I did is I sent you the MOU that, when we received the MOU from the police department, we went through with our attorney and looked at it, and he suggested some changes. And so we highlighted those changes and sent it back. They have been tentatively approved, but there was other adjustments that needed to be made to it. And so yesterday I reached out to Hunter and asked him about how it was with the contract. There's a waiver that needs to be signed because of the fact that both of our attorneys are in the same office. They're actually partners. And so the waiver came to me yesterday. I signed the waiver yesterday and sent it back yesterday. And so they should have the waivers and should be working on it without any problems. As I said, I was told that the changes were fundamentally approved. They accepted them at this time, so I'm just waiting back for the final one from Hunter. I did ask him today about if we're going to have one the start of school, and, I said more like the 5 days before, because we asked for a few days before and after, and they're doing everything they can to make sure that we do. So,
And I'd like to thank Bert and Tim and Donna for coming to the selectmen's meeting and to the selectmen for listening to our concerns. I do appreciate that. So I look forward to getting this buttoned up and done.
So, do you want a motion to accept pending changes?
I think we'll wait till the final one comes in, so that way you can look at the final one and accept that one.
But school will be open before the next time we meet.
So if you can.
Okay. So then we'll need a motion to accept the tentative MOU between the school district and the town of Newport for the SRO.
Okay, but before we do that, I'd like to get another thing in, if I can.
Okay.
To the public sitting out there watching this superintendent, tentative superintendent, fought tooth and nails to get an SRO. And if you read her letter in answer to the town manager, you will understand she went to bat for us and got it done. And it probably could be the most significant thing that we do to the school, and that is to have an SRO. And I would like to say, I really want to see us get Mr. Moyer, because what I look at is, as the child grows up, he gets a feel, a know of the child, and can see something isn't right, or feel it. And then we have a recent news story of an SRO who stepped in to two kids fighting just as a gun was pulled, and he prevented it. Number one, he went in, and number two, he prevented whatever might have happened. So without it, we put ourselves at risk, and we're not going to have that happen. So I would move the conditions of the SRO with the town as we have them in the back and forth communications, subject to any changes.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion?
So a comment.
Sure.
Not that we should need to change it on here, because I don't want to delay any process with Hunter, but on the arrest procedures on 7.2, it says that the arrest of a student or employee of the school with warrant or petition should be coordinated with the principal, accomplished after school hours, whenever practical, and Newport Police Department will strive to avoid the arrest of any student or staff on school property when the school's in session. However, both parties recognize the situation and occur, blah, blah, blah. I just want to point out, like, if you have a student being arrested, I personally think you should perp walk them right down the hall in handcuffs. If you did something bad enough to be arrested, the example should be set that we don't play around in Newport with whatever that behavior is. We shouldn't hide it from the other kids. They should be embarrassed. You just got arrested. That's not something to be proud of. So, I mean, I'm not saying we have to change it because I don't want to slow any of this down, but I just feel like that's my opinion. If you're doing something wrong and you're going to actually be arrested, which means you broke the law, not broke a school rule, you broke the law, they should haul you out in a cruiser in front of the whole school, in my opinion.
Bert?
I'm going to take the opposite side. Some might act out just to, like it's a badge. In other words, look at me. So, I don't think we need the performance. That would be my opinion.
Yeah.
Take more.
There's just not enough consequences
If they
anymore.
want to play the bad guy,
Right,
they may want to play it big time. So.
right.
Any further discussion? Donna, I'm sorry.
I think, Tim, we can look at what the situation is, right? If we know that the person has a gun or a knife or something like that on their possession, then yeah, we're not going to say, okay, we'll wait till the end of the day,
Right.
or something, or they have drugs in their possession, those
Right.
types of things. If it's didn't appear in court,
Yeah, and absolutely,
or something
absolutely,
like that. So I
absolutely.
think that, we'll have to look at the safety of what's going on at that point in time.
Right.
And maybe have the child come down to the office and then they're, removed or those types of things.
Right, yeah, no, I agree with that 100%.
And I think the language allows for that situational approach.
And the SRO knows better than we do as to the right approach.
Okay, so the motion stands on the table. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, and that brings us to the joint school board and select board meeting coming up, which
Yes.
will be on September.
September 8th is when they'd like to meet. And so how we would do that is from 5 to 6, we would have a regular meeting. And then they would come in around 6, and then we would have a joint meeting would start then.
Okay. And I'm assuming that for the joint meeting, we'll need to set an agenda for that. So I'll need to meet with Mr. Kessler and you and
Yep,
Hunter.
I'll set that up.
Okay. Any questions? Anything that maybe the board wants to have on that agenda?
The date again?
September 8th. And you will not be at that meeting, correct?
No.
Okay.
No.
And that's here.
That would be here. Okay. All right. That brings us to the second sign on the SAU lawn. This is for NCTV to have a sign.
I sent you in the packet some signs that the NCTV would like to look at putting on. There is a meeting tonight, but from my understanding, they would like to go with the one that goes underneath our sign versus the one on the lawn, and I would agree with that. I think it looks much better underneath ours. If I was to make a choice, I'd like the second one. It's smaller, has space around the side versus the full one.
Okay. I'm in agreement. I like the one with the signs that are stacked. It's just a personal preference. Do you need this? You have it.
I didn't bring it with me.
Okay. No, you're welcome.
I was, as I looked at it, I was in hopes that we would consider it to be more in line with the sign that is there, as opposed to starkly different.
Do you want to see what? Those are the signs there in color. I think that the ones that are self-standing would require them to go before the board to get approval. The one underneath, from my understanding, they do not need approval.
I guess I would disagree with that.
Okay.
Because of this, in the approval is the amount of signed surface area in most cases. So, the second sign, because it is new, requires a sign that is expanded. Example, you took the total school sign out there as it is and decided to put a billboard up. Right? So it's limited by size. But as I look at this, to me it would look better if in fact the NCTV sign was similarly sister to what we have here.
Like the shape of it?
Similar shape,
Hmm.
and whatever. It's, when was the last time you drove by Total and you looked at the sign? Actually.
I actually looked at it, yeah.
Yeah, you don't very
Not
often.
usually.
But for people who are looking for it, they'll still see it. It stands out a bit too much as it is there. But that's my opinion. Make it similar to what you have on the same post.
So as it stands now, the sign has a lot of gold or yellow for the Sunshine Town, and then the NCTV logo is in green like the sign. Can we make any decisions about the colors of the signs? I know John's not here, so.
Is the sign made already?
No, it is not me.
And it's on the zoning board agenda tonight.
It is at 6:30.
I don't know, I got an email that they want John to pay the fee, and he's like, I shouldn't have to pay the fee, and so I almost feel like it was removed from the meeting tonight.
That's just my opinion. I don't rule here, so.
Did anybody need to see the color photo?
Could I see the color?
Yep. I think because of the color, the brightness of the sign is probably why I like the smaller inline sign.
Don't worry about that, Jim. I have plenty of
I should just use the Sunshine Town logo that like the town uses. I think it'll look better.
Is that a sign designed by somebody?
I think this one used to be on there.
I know that they have a
Backdrop
couple
of
of
their
other
meetings.
signs that are similar to
It's
that, so
darker,
I'm
like
not
it's
sure
black,
if that's
and it
just
just
their
looks better.
logo and their sign. So he has a few that are already built that he wants to use for, like, just to put by the door, so that way people know where it is, and it looks just like that, so I don't know if that's their logo type of sign, so.
I agree, it does seem incredibly bold.
Not to be nitpicky, but even if the shade of gold was a little more transparent or a little more pale, I think it would be less.
Almost if they use the town's logo, like the school, I think just the one behind the selectmen's, it's not as bright, it's not, you know what I'm saying? I think it would fit better.
I'm certainly willing to,
Even if we tried, even if they tried just kind of matching the colors off the toll sign, like, that's a lot of gold, and it's matching the brighter part of the Wheeler Gym banner. If instead we tried to match the ends of the Wheeler Gym banner that are a bit more muted, maybe something like that. I'm thinking and that's what I'm thinking as far as continuity. The color scheme, like instead of it being in, the green is here is kind of a different color than the green on the sign, on the toll sign. So I would think it would be ideal to just have that continuity between the two signs as far as, the color scheme, the font, et cetera. That would be my thought, but again,
so then we need to have a motion to approve whether a sign, we're okay with a sign going up there. So perhaps the motion would be that whether or not we are okay with a sign in line with the current one we have, but maybe we'd like to talk about it matching closer to the one that's there.
Would this conversation that we've just had be sufficient for NCTV to do a piece of paper with artwork on it for compatibility? And then go forward with if it needs a variance or approval. I should think that we, the school district, have the responsibility of maintaining that sign and its message and any other message that would go on that sign. So if we saw our artwork back and we voted on it, then we'd be awesome.
Okay. So why don't we talk with John? I personally am just fine with having the inline sign as opposed to the second sign, and maybe we can just get that coordinated, have it sketched up to see what it looks like, and then we can make a final vote on it.
Okay.
High school soccer team.
So the high school soccer, after 2 days of preseason, only 5 athletes showed up to participate in the boys varsity soccer. So this year, they cannot field the boys soccer team. The NHIAA has been notified. And so having a soccer team has been really tough over the past few years due to boys wanting to play other fall sports. So what does this mean for the varsity soccer? So what this means is they'll have to back out of the 2-year varsity schedule. So they will not be able to have the varsity soccer team for 2 years. But what they'll do in turn is they'll look at rebuilding the junior varsity level.
All right.
could our students have an option of, working with Centerpiece team? So those students that want to stay involved at the varsity level? Like, is there that kind of partnership between us and any other local district?
If students come forward, then we would look at those options. But I think what's happening is the ones that were trying to, a lot of them were playing a second sport, and it was kind of interfering. So out of the 5, there probably was 3 that were playing football as well, and it was kind of, so. But at this point, if you don't mind me asking Shannon, I don't think anyone has come forward and said, we want to play soccer. Have we?
No, not for high school. They're playing other sports. It would be probably up to Sunapee if they were to have an agreement like that. Like we offer football for people nearby. We have circumstances that might fit. But we do have a middle school team, and I know I saw at least one high school athlete there just helping them, which I thought was wonderful. There's a number of middle school boys. So the good news is I think there's an opportunity for growth there. And our high school coach also was willing to take on that middle school program to help build that program up for us. So we're pretty grateful to Kayla for that.
That's great. All right, thank you. Okay, Primex.
So Primex is our property and workman's comp insurance. Because we're in good standings, they're offering us a contract for 3 years. Each year that we, of this 3-year contract, they will not go higher than 9% of an increase. I spoke with Diane about this, and she feels that it's a really good deal. She said because they usually go over the 9%. And so tonight I'm asking that the board approve this contract so I can have Jenna sign it so we can move forward. And I did give you a copy of the contract.
Okay.
What is the contract? What liability does it cover?
It's workman's comp and property. It's a property insurance and workman's comp
So it
insurance.
has nothing to do with teachers.
Well, unless they get hurt, because workman's comp.
And they're 9% or less?
Yes.
Or are we signing a 9% contract?
No, it's up to 9%, but it's each year. So I want to just make sure everybody knows that. So it's not 9% over a 3-year period. So the first year, they could go up 9%, but they can't go any higher than that. So they could go up 2%, they could go up 4%, or 9%. Same thing with the second year and then the third year.
Can they go 999?
They could.
And we would have no say, and we could not leave the contract. We couldn't break the contract.
Correct.
I won't sign it. It's, if in there it says 9% or lower, fine, but 9% a year?
Well,
It says a maximum of
9%.
9%.
Yeah, it's a maximum. It's up to
So
So it is
9%.
up to.
Up to,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Up to.
So they put a ceiling on it?
Yes.
My question would be in that clause, if in fact they could go lower. Now, let's say the 9% in the first year. And then the following year, we're out of this syndrome that we're in. And we've had a good risk ratio to dollars. Could we get it at 3%? Would they do that?
It's a possibility. They could go anywhere between.
And we're
We'd
offered this
have that
because we
same
are in good
possibility
standing.
Without a contract.
I'm sorry?
We would have that same possibility without a contract.
Correct, but we also have the possibility for them to go over 9%
After. In year 2.
in year 1.
In year one.
Well, year 1 also, yeah. I'm leery.
Do you know what's gone up from year to year?
I do not know that. Sorry.
That's fine.
Can we get a history of the percentage increases?
When do we need to respond to this by?
Well, I know that Diane's not back until after Labor Day, and so she, I think will be fine for me to get that back, and then for us to, on our 8th, September 8th meeting, to
It
have
says
that.
right on here, September 30th.
Yeah.
Oh, I just, okay. Oh, I had it on the front page, okay. All
So,
right,
yeah,
we have
see-
time, we have until September 30th.
So I can get the history and then bring it back to the next meeting.
Is that the wish of the board, or does anybody wish to make a motion to accept it now?
I feel like it'd be nice to see the history if we've only gone up 1 or 2% over the last 10 years. I also can see how 9% max would be a potential good deal, considering like what the light bill just went to for most of us. So, but if we do have time, it would be nice to see if, what that increase has been. If it's been 6 or 7% every year, then this contract is a really good deal because it's not much more, where it could, potentially go up a lot.
And you said we were offered this because we are in good standing with them.
Yes.
So, okay. I think if we have the time, I think the more knowledge we have, the better. So we will
Absolutely.
agenda that for the 8th.
So I won't be present at the 8th.
Okay.
As always, you guys know that I defer to the experts.
Okay.
Um,
Noted.
Certainly, if it seems like a good deal for Diane and for everybody that has an opportunity to look at it, I would be in agreement if I wasn't.
Okay. And we have the budget transfer.
Yes.
The next item.
So I'm asking that you approve me moving $3,000 from the summer para line item to the repair and maintenance football field item. This is to help offset the costs in the building of the snack shack. So that is the one that I told you about earlier, about moving the money.
Donna, you-
Maura, can you just, I didn't know if you saw that Steve just joined us via Zoom. So, no problem. Hi, Steve, how are you? Maybe he can't hear
No
me.
response, he's sleeping. He's on mute, must be.
I trust you there, but hi.
It was frozen.
But just, I'm allowed to be aware.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Yes, Maura?
If Ms. McGee could repeat what she said about summer airline?
Yes, so I'm asking that they approve me moving $3,000 from the summer para line. So it's the summer paraprofessional line. We didn't use all the money for that, and for the summer program that we have. So to move that to the repair and maintenance football field line item.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can understand what the summer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any questions, or is there a motion to lead to discussion?
So moved.
Okay. Is there a second? Tim? All right. Any further discussion?
Yeah, if we don't do this, we got the biggest outhouse in town.
Okay.
And we can't stop the money flow as long as they aren't able to drive nails, get it up before football season begins. So it is a small cost to pay for what we have received and the work that we're getting done.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstained? And that was unanimous. Thank you. All right. So that brings us...
Was Steve?
Oh, Steve, I'm sorry. Steve, would you like to vote on the Snack Shack budget transfer?
I think I would really get that information without saying I'm going to get called away, so I'd rather just participate in the sense of, well, I can make notes so that I'm abreast of everything while I'm here, but I might be getting called away at any second.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Steve. So we'll just leave it at unanimous at 4 votes.
So Shannon, to you, it's almost now poured in concrete.
What's that?
I said it is almost now poured in concrete.
Okay.
When we talked about the concrete way back, right?
Yep,
I used the expression it wasn't poured.
yep.
Now it is.
It's poured now.
You're right.
Halfway there.
Okay. New hires. All right. That's up for me to butcher some people's names again. So here we go. I will move the new hires, which is a high school special education teacher. I'm just going to say Miss Deanna. Is that okay? Or do you know how to pronounce her last name? Dina Crusidi?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. An MA plus 15, step 17, MA plus 15 at $59,635. We have a high school social studies teacher, Ethan Hood, a BA step 1. Third, Hood. Oh, you, sorry.
It's a weird one.
Sorry, 36,467. Sorry, Ethan. Middle school music teacher, Nicole Bailey, step 18, MA plus 15, 60,875. The moves, I don't think we have
No.
to do anything with that. No, we don't have to do Mr. Bailey.
Oh, you do have to, Mr. Bailey.
I do have to do Mr. Bailey. Mr. David Bailey, principal for the middle school, at $88,000. So I move those new hires. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Jenna, in the future, could we do them individually?
I'm fine with that. If that's what the board would like, I can do them individually. Yes.
So do you want to try a motion on it, or are you, I guess I would move that the hires be done individually. So that there is some sort of look at it, the documentation, as opposed to just a blanket. Donna, is that a problem?
I can send you the stuff.
I think it's been done that way in the past.
Yeah, past, yeah.
I can do
Quite a
that.
while.
Okay, is there a second for that motion? So that we would receive the new hires paperwork and make a motion individually?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor? Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, you know me, I think,
Yep,
and
it's okay.
sometimes I think slowly, I'm sorry.
I go first.
I do like the idea of receiving the paperwork ahead of time. If there's a long list of new hires, though, if they can be blanketed together, you know, I would think that would be preferred. I mean, I guess, some of these meetings already run, you know, a while, so if we were to find a point where we had 10 new hires and we discuss them all for,
Well, we could always make that motion at that meeting as well.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
that's fine.
we could do it that way. So,
But I would definitely like to see the paperwork ahead like we have in the past.
This would be the last month that I would be doing, because you've given me the privilege to do the hiring. So this would be the last month anyway that I would be doing that.
Oh.
And so moving forward, what would end up happening is when a hire came in, I would send you the stuff, and then you would send something back. If I didn't hear from you in a couple of days, I think that's what we talked about, then I would know that I can go ahead and hire them. And then I can bring the list like this, so that way you've already seen the paperwork as they're coming in, versus me sending you a packet of a whole bunch of them that you have to go through. So I would just send them as they come in, and then give you this list with a breakdown, and then if you wanted to discuss them that night, then we could do that, if that
That makes
works.
sense.
okay, I still think that falls in line with the same motion, so I think we'll go ahead and vote on it. So, all those in favor of those changes? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Okay. Any resignations?
No resignations.
Goodness. Great. No policies yet. Policy committee will be meeting next week. That brings us to communication.
Yes, so I just wanted to, number one, thank the administration at our high school level for really stepping up and helping with the middle school and with scheduling, so that's been truly amazing. They really did a lot of work in a short period of time, and they're still continuing. Shannon I call Shannon now, she is the mother of the building, so it's her responsibility to take care of everyone in the building, because she is the eldest. She is my eldest child right now. So it's her responsibility to take care of the rest of my children. So she knows that, so she's been amazing with that. And so moving forward, that's what we're going to have. So that's been great. Sarah's really stepped up this year, being the first year as an assistant, working on helping with the scheduling and the handbook and a lot of other amazing things, so I thank her for that. I really thank all of our teachers. I mean, we started school this week. The teachers came back this week, I should say. They came back yesterday, was the first day. It was absolutely amazing. It was great to see them all in the building, smiling, happy, making jokes with each other, so that was really nice to see. Setting up their rooms was nice to see. I want to thank the middle school teachers for really stepping up and doing what's best for our kids, and so that's been amazing as well. And our buildings and grounds crew, they've done some great things, getting the building situated while also building a snack shack to be ready for football season. So that's been great. So we have a really good crew here, and it would not be very good of me not to make sure that everybody is aware of how much we do have here in our district. Thank you. And I also, one more thing, I just want to remind everybody about the back to school, us being at the back to school, we call it back to school, right? At the Apple Pie Festival or Craft Fair. We have so many backpacks right now and supplies and stuff, so we're doing great. Backpacks are stuffed with supplies, and we have supplies on the side. We have the list from the buildings on what the kids need, and we'll have all that stuff there, and so we're ready to go. We have our tiger is going to be there, so that's going to be amazing, and we have books from kindergarten, preschool, all the way up to 12th grade that we'll be giving away to students. So we're hoping to see a lot of our families come out to this event.
And it will be on the lawn of Toll.
Yes, it will. I also did advertise that as a meeting,
Okay.
so that way if any of you are there at the same time, we will not be in violation of anything, so.
You couldn't get on the common, they would,
No, I couldn't, but that's okay, we're right in our building and I don't have to carry things this way. And we're really looking forward to having you there, Bert.
but we're looking at a division here of
No.
the community. I
Well,
should
yeah.
think you just grab everything and have the
Well,
SR.
next year, we're going to make that move, but I also want to say that at the selectmen meeting, I invited the selectmen to be on the lawn with us because they couldn't even get a spot on the common. So they will be joining us as well. Next year, though, we'll be on there.
Shannon?
I just wanted to add, we're not the only ones, the library also,
Yeah.
in our sports teams, if you're not aware of this, volunteer to help set up, as if you've been to the apple pie event, it's quite a big deal. So field hockey, for example, today just led tables from down in the basement of the library, which is a really fun place if you haven't been down there, and also a few tables from the third floor. And tomorrow, our football team will be lugging boxes of books. And so it is quite a workout, but it's wonderful that the kids are involved and we're keeping up with some of those things. So we won't be alone at Hull. We'll have our neighbor right next door.
Very good. Great. Any board communication?
I have a question.
Yes.
If I wanted to make an amendment to a policy, would I just submit that to you and Steve to discuss it?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep. For me, I will be at the Apple Pie Festival. Get your pies in tomorrow. Dropping mine off tomorrow. The last thing I wanted just to let other board members know, we need to kind of revamp committees. I had it done, and then with the administration transition, I'd like to go back and just revisit that. Tim, get you on committees as well, so that will be an agenda item for next time. Okay. And that is all I have. We do have a non-public tonight, correct? Okay, so let me see if I can get this right. Can I have a motion to enter into non-public? I will make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. And this will be to go into non-public under RSA 91A32A, the dismissal, promotion, or compensation of any public employee, or the disciplining of such employee, or the investigation of any charges against him or her, unless the employee affected, 1, has the right to a public meeting, and 2, requests the meeting to be open, in which case the request shall be granted.
Make a correction.
Yes,
You left out the :3.
I'm sorry. And it would be 91A:3, 2A,
Roman 2A.
Roman 2A.
So put it in the record clearly, RSA 91-A:3, Roman 2, small a.
There you go. Got that more? Okay. All right, we need a roll call vote. Tim?
Tim Beard, aye?
Bill Wilkinson, aye?
Bert?
Yes.
And Jenna Darling, aye. Steve, I assume you will not join us for non-public?
No, I'm not going to, I'm just more interesting on this.
Okay. I think you said you had a hard time hearing us, so I would agree with that. Okay.
Proves Texas internet's not any better than New Hampshire's.
Are we making any decisions in there that we'll need to come back out for?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right, with that, yes.
Can I?
Yes, please come. And I hope everybody has a fantastic first day and first week of school. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you.